All right, so I just need to be clear that I'm voting for Trump. If that shocks you, you haven't been around very long, because you can't watch my videos for more than a couple days and not recognize that I'm right-wing. 100%, unequivocally, unapologetic right-wing. Now, I have some disagreements on the right when it comes to the fiscal side. Like, I think there should be a wealth tax. I absolutely think we should get rid of all charitable deductions, all nonprofits. They should all pay taxes. Make freaking universities pay property tax. 100%. This is where my right-wing brothers and sisters are wrong. They're like, I'm like, dude, do you not know who's using the tax code mostly to advocate left-wing stuff? It's the freaking Ford Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, it's the universities. These people need to be taxed to put them back in their place. That's another reason I love Trump, because he started the whole taxes on the endowments. Made my heart flutter that Trump could think of that. Think that. It's like, yes, dude, he got rid of, he created SALT, state and local tax. You can only deduct $10,000 off your state and local tax to basically to not subsidize these blue states with a massive income and property tax. Dude, freaking more power to you, Trump. He gets it. And I would actually still say get rid of all charitable deductions to include churches, 100%. But the issue is we need to go after these nonprofits. These non-government entities, these nonprofits, these guys are up to no good. I would get rid of preferential treatment on long-term capital gain and qualified dividend for people making more than $1 million a year. Make that income tax as ordinary income, and then we can watch that money go to fund Social Security, 100%. I'd absolutely fund Social Security to the extent that we can, to 100% make it 100% fully funded. And I would do that, and I would actually give I don't know if you can increase the first bend point, but I increase the second bend point, probably the first bend point, to give people a raise who are on the lower middle class, the lower middle income, which is the Republican base, by the way. It's amazing how the Democrats take care of their base, but the Republicans don't do crap with our base when it comes to financial stuff. 100%. Again, I'm like an Irish Catholic. I'm somewhat fiscally liberal in some regard, but I'm very socially conservative. You know what I'm saying? No way is abortion. Abortion should be illegal. It never will be. But whatever. Trump getting rid of Roe v. Wade was huge, and having all these idiot Republicans like, it's not enough. None of you guys ever got rid of Roe v. Wade. Trump did, and no one ever expected Trump to win. All you guys like Steve Deace and stuff, but I like Steve Deace. I don't call him an idiot, but some of these guys like, because don't forget he voted for Cruz in 2016. And I said, yeah, President Cruz. Oh yeah, right. He lost. He didn't win. Trump won, and he got the Supreme Court to get rid of Roe v. Wade. And freaking on top of affirmative action, on top of the Chevron deference. Trump did that. Ted Cruz didn't. So you can say all day long, well, Trump. Well, he got rid of Roe v. Wade, so that's freaking a feather in his cap. So I'm a huge fan. The social stuff with Trump, I like, dude, 100%. I got no qualm with tariffs on China, but it's going to make prices higher. Yeah, prices are already higher there, guy, and we've lost all these jobs. So the tariffs are supposed to keep the price, the quote free trade unquote, which is supposed to keep the prices low. As we've seen the prices jump like crazy, and we've seen the jobs go away too. All right, now we are, exporting our inflation, I grant you, but we still have our own inflation to contend with. That's just a fact. Prices are going up, and the jobs are going away. At some point, you need to have more manufacturing. At some point, you need to have more people be able to do. We still manufacture. I'm not one of these idiots that say we don't make anything. We certainly do, but most of our exports are natural gas and oil and whatnot, coal. We need to be able to get back making steel and all this stuff. And all the right-wingers, the silly right-wingers, free trade, man. There's no such thing as free trade. I mean, and maybe an economic textbook, but there's no free trade as it is. Just not happening. And so you might as well defend what you have. I mean, this is what we have to do. We defend what's ours so it doesn't get taken out by China and other people like to see us fiscally on our knees. The days of comparative advantage from the old Adam Smith theory inherently makes sense, except when what we're doing is we're giving away the keys to the car so we can have some short-term stimulus in terms of cheaper prices. Cheaper relative to the rest of the world, but still higher than what it was, and we don't have the jobs to support it anymore either in terms of what we used to have, especially when it comes to manufacturing, the making of steel and things of that nature. So anyway, I'm a big fan of the way Trump talks on that, 100%. I would get rid of, like I said, have a wealth tax, fund Social Security to the max that we can, tax large corporate, large foundations and nonprofits. You can even say, look, like I got a guy on my Facebook, like a friend of mine from when I used to live in Peaks Island, Maine. He's like, yeah, but I run a small nonprofit, Christian nonprofit, and so you can say, all right, if your revenue is over $1 million, we're going to start taxing or something like that. I'd want these guys, these people to be The universities pay property tax. I mean, how much revenue would that generate to Harrisonburg? I was just in Athens, Georgia. I'm coming back from taking my daughter back, reloading her up at University of Georgia. How much would that take back, or that raise revenue from these universities to that are hiring these DEI candidates for $300,000 a year? If they had to pay property tax, how much would that increase the revenue to the local municipalities? It'd be off the charts, dude. Oh, but they can't afford to have a tuition hike. No, they wouldn't, because what they'd do is they'd get rid of the idiotic staffing that they have, the idiotic diplomas that they're offering. They say, no, we're serious now. It'd be nice if Republicans would do that. Oh, Republicans, no, they've been in charge for a long time, never done hardly any of this. Well, it takes time, dude. It takes time. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think Trump's going to win. I mean, I think Heels Up Harris. How dare you call her Heels Up Harris? How dare you? She's accomplished. Dude, come on. Like Penelope on here. Penelope, you gotta know, she's from Penelope's in California. She's like, what? Heels Up Harris. She called it Kamala. It's very accomplished. I said, she goes, why do you say she's not? I said, you never heard of Willie Brown? You don't know this? How can you not know the Willie Brown story with Heels Up? It's crazy, man. I mean, my mom, she loves Kamala. She's like, Kamala. Yeah, look, Kamala's attractive when she's younger. You know what I'm saying? Back in her Indian days. Oh my goodness, so she's still actually trying. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if I saw Kamala, I'd give her a second look for sure. She's an attractive lady, but she's not very bright. I mean, everyone knows this. She's not the brightest bull. I mean, come on. She cackles like Hillary. She's just not good as a putting two and two to her thoughts together. She's not good. That doesn't mean the Republicans are better, but when it comes to Kamala, they absolutely are. Then this guy Tim Walz. But he's a command sergeant major. No, he wasn't. The guy's just a buffoon. You see this guy? But Josh, he served honorably in the Army. Dude, I know tons of people served honorably in the Army. I don't want him leading the country. This guy, Tim Walz, is a buffoon. You see him when he's in Congress? Just he lied about his service, lied about being a combat vet, lied about his rank. Tampon Tim. He's just, dude, for the record, I served in the infantry, the light infantry, all right, 11 Bravo. We are basically the first to go to combat if it happens. I never went to combat. The closest I ever sniffed was combat was when Panama Operation Just Cause came around. Hold on just a second, got a copper. Operation Just Cause came around, and we got issued live ammo in our rifles and all that. We're like, what the hell? And I think, did we go to the tarmac in Rome, New York, or did we just get on the buses? I can't remember. We're the DRF Force, the Deployment Readiness Force, DRF. So when Operation Just Cause came around, it looked like we were going to go to Panama, but I think we got, they bumped up the 82nd Airborne over us. So that's the closest I ever came to combat. I would never, ever, ever lie to say I'm a combat veteran, ever. I can't imagine saying that, knowing full well that I know I'm not. I literally can't. Never mind the fact I know a bunch of people served in combat. I can't even imagine saying, I can't, fathom the idea I'd lie about being a combat vet. Like, what kind of insecurity do you have to freaking lie about your service? Part two is I went to Ranger School. 4 months in Ranger School. I finished half of it. I never finished it. I didn't qualify. I'm not good enough as a soldier. Like, what? I would never, ever say I finished Ranger School. I didn't. I mean, I'm proud of myself I went. I wish I could have finished it. And I was still like, oh, man, but I don't, sit there and say, oh, man, I got to lie. No, why would I say that? It didn't happen. I know so many Rangers and stuff. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, I did it. I mean, why would I do that? I'd be embarrassed by myself to lie about my military career. You know, I got I don't know, I guess some of these guys pretend, I don't even know what it is in academics, but they lie, they lie about their papers they published, all this stuff. I don't care. I'd never do that. But, the Tim Walz lied about his rank. And that'd be like me saying I'm a sergeant. I think I went up from E4, for Corporal E4 to E5 to see if I could, I forgot how it works, but you go to E5, E4 promotable, that means when there's a slot that comes up for E5, you can take it as promotable. And I went up, and I had the PLDC or something like that, Platoon Leaders Development Course, I forgot what it was, Platoon Leaders Development Course, PLDC, I forgot, but it was just something some kind of test you go through, some board to see if you pass your E5 school or something like that. And I took it. I failed like a heart attack, dude. Because, first of all, I just wasn't that serious about it. But secondly, I'm not a good soldier. I mean, it's good enough to do, halfway decent, get honorably discharged. But But anyway, I have friends who became a sergeant. My good friend Chris, he became an E5, but I didn't pass. And if I sat there and said, no, I was E5, that'd be a lie. It'd be a lie. And why would you want to lie? Like, why are you so, deficient in your own head that you say, I want to lie about my service. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for people who do that. I know tons of people too, by the way, who do this. Like, oh yeah, I was in the this, that. And I was like, oh, I can always tell. Like, dude, you can always tell the liars. They're so quick to tell you what they did. And like, I was talking to a guy the other day who was in Special Forces, and he didn't. This guy, you can just tell. He's legit, because I said, hey, what brand? He was in the Army. So what unit were you? He goes, well, I was just kind of hemming and hawing, and then he just kind of let it be known. I said, all right, yeah. So I mean, and all these other guys are, I was in SF, I was in this. I was like, oh, that doesn't happen. Most people don't do that who have actually been there. Oh yeah, I saw combat. Let me tell you, most people aren't like that either. Most people see that stuff. At least in my experience. And look, I've dealt with tons of veterans working at USAA and whatnot, and being my own veteran stake. And the vast majority of people I know who went to combat aren't sitting there like, let me tell you my war story. They're just not like that. The vast majority of people I know went to combat and went to become a ranger or special forces are very reserved. They're very quiet on the Western Front, if that makes sense, because they just, I don't know, they don't need to brag. You see what I'm saying? Because there's nothing to brag about. They said, I'm just doing what my duty was. Anyway, so that's me in a nutshell. So if you guys commenting out there, you trolls, are saying, oh, I like this channel until you started talking about Heels Up Harris, you're obviously not, you haven't been watching. I've watched this channel for a long time, but I didn't know you were political. You're obviously not. You're new here. So for those who are still here, don't forget to caress the like button for sure. And I'll see you guys on the other side. If Trump wins, great. I literally don't think it's got that big of an impact, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be great if he wins because of judges and whatnot. But we are so run by the judges now, it's insane. So the reason you want the Republicans to win, because they can't get much done legislatively, is simply because of judges. That's it. Now, again, I think if Trump wins, he can put an end to it. Look, let's get a 10% across-the-board cut to all government spending. How about that? That includes the military, by the way. Let's defund NASA, get a 10% government across-the-board cut to spending. I'm all right. I'll be a fiscal conservative if we can get that done, but we're just not going to get that done. Why? Because Republicans are too entrenched in defense spending, just like the Democrats are too entrenched into other spending. And as such, it's easier to get your spending going up as opposed to cutting it. But I'd be on that like white on rice if we get a 10% across-the-board cut in spending. But the Republicans aren't going to follow that, and the Democrats won't either. There's too much power in spending. So if we can't get a cut spending, I say, hey, man, let's just ramp up Social Security, make sure that our base gets rewarded for their work, and make sure Social Security continues to be something that rewards workers. That's what it does. You have to work to get Social Security. Love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you.